Good morning. It's 11:11. Welcome. I don't know where everybody is. I'm just waiting. I've lost half my congregation.
Just now, 11:11.
I lost my partner.
Oh, never. You can never lose me.
This is why it takes.
You're stuck with me.
I'm stuck with you
forever.
There we go.
I know, right?
There you go.
Oh yeah. You
want me to be mic'd too?
You can be mic'd too.
So demanding.
I know.
No, I'm just kidding.
I know. Yesterday I did. I officiated a wedding yesterday.
So fun.
It was.
I love doing that.
And he had these little clip-on mics.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say
Oh,
this
well,
love
I
is
did
love.
Hi. I did. The Love is Love pin is one of the little gifts they gave out.
Just so you know, if anybody wants an officiant for a wedding, we can do it separately and together, which I think would be hilarious if we did them together.
Right? People really don't want a lot of hilarity
We're
at their
funny.
wedding.
Come on, it's a good time. No, we'd be serious.
We'd be serious. Yes.
For like, yes, we could.
It was. It was a very
No, but it
amazing
is a
time.
fun thing to do for.
Yes.
It is a fun thing to get to officiate a wedding because it's just so
Yes.
much love in the room.
Absolutely.
I love that feeling. Yeah.
It was such an awesome thing.
Who were they? Friends?
So they're friends of mine, Jeannie and Cherie Montgomery. Congratulations,
Congratulations,
Mrs. and Mrs.
newlyweds.
And Jeannie and I have known each other for about 16 years. So this is somebody that I have just watched grow and, really become the woman who she is today in a way of love and light. And her new bride was just, beautiful and amazing, and so grateful for the relationship she has. So Jeannie's really grown into that person, that had another person feel like a princess, and and she had that in her vows. She said, "You treated me like a princess, and I was not used to that." And it was such a beautiful thing,
That's so sweet. I love that.
Yeah,
Love that.
it's awesome.
That's very cool. Perfect way to start today. Lots of
Right?
things to be grateful for sure.
Yes,
And it's our gratitude month.
Gratitude month.
Going
Woo!
into Thanksgiving.
And we're grateful we have our cards
Yes.
from last week and this week.
Yes, so you
everybody.
guys got
Yeah.
caught up. Yes. Woo.
And where are we at?
Oh, we're at the Unleash show. I'm like,
I don't know. Where are we at?
she's feeling okay. She's fine. She's fine.
What are we doing?
I was
Who
like,
am I?
what's happening? She means that I should say that we are at the Unleash Your Life Studios, home of Reverend Dr. Michelle Whittington, who, should we tell the surprise?
Yes, we
Okay,
can.
okay.
Because people love it.
They do love
They
it.
do love it.
So next week's our anniversary. So next week, she's going to be here on the sofa with us because it's our 1-year anniversary. We're actually doing a reading from the Anton book of hers.
Yes.
So she said yes
She
to
said
the
yes
sofa.
to the sofa.
So we're gonna have a
and
very
being
fun time
here.
next week.
So if you have not ventured out to 7220 North 16th Street, Phoenix, Arizona 85020, I highly recommend that you do that next week and that you come for the celebration of our 1 year on the
1
sofa.
year, people.
That you can experience what it's like to be in our studio audience
Yes, with our community.
with our community,
I know.
our lovely
so we're
community.
So excited.
Yes,
Yes.
we are.
So that's where we are. We're at Unleash Your Life Studios, home of Reverend Dr. Michelle Whittington, and you can look up what's going on in this studio on the other times, not just Sundays, but she has her practice here. So it would be unleashyourlife.us, and you can check out everything going on.
Yes, and I'm going to say this, that she has a program that's called Best Year Yet, and it will be starting up again for 2024.
Oh, nice.
So mention my name and I get a gift, and so do you. Okay?
Is that true? Or are you
Yes,
thinking
it
that?
is. It is.
Everybody out for the rest of us.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
I'm sorry, this is my platform. I get to say it.
I gotta get my own show, right?
That's
I
right.
know. Well, I know a lot of people love that, have loved that
Yeah, it's been an
experience, and they're
amazing
doing it again, which should say a lot about it. So
Absolutely.
yeah, so sign up for that, and you can check it out on her website. So
Do you want to pray it?
I'll pray it.
Okay.
Yes. And with that laughter, and that room is already filled with joy. I love the feeling of being here. We're going to come into this space together, in this moment together, taking a deep breath. And on the release, recognizing there is only one power. There is just one energy, one life, one love. And each of us are a piece of that. We're a part of that. It is running through us, moving us, having its life as us. And I love that. I love that we're that love, we're that energy, we're that life. And from my place of knowing my truth, I speak my word into the law of God, because it can only say yes to what I am putting forth. And of course, I'm putting forth that this moment, this time together is is divinely guided. And as each one of us comes into this time, letting go of anything that's come before, releasing anything we know is coming up after, as we stay present, as we stay in this moment together, we receive what is ours to receive. We feel that connection. We are that love, that joy, that laughter. And I'm so grateful for this truth. I'm grateful to be a part of it. I'm grateful for everyone here, everyone that will hear it later. And so I let it go, knowing that it's perfect, whole and complete, and already done. And together we say, and so it is.
Lovely. Thank you.
Of course, there's a little thing there.
Yeah, it's
I know.
probably from our tree or
Oh, the
flowers.
tree. Did we notice our pretty flowers?
Yes,
Our tree.
I had to
love
get.
it.
I had to get flowers again. I came in and
I
she
thought
hadn't
she wasn't
seen
going to
it.
get flowers
Yeah.
because she had
I had
did
the
this.
tree and I did all this. And
It is a real tree, by the way,
I
so
can't
we'll
help
see
myself.
how it does. Yes.
Yes.
It's very
Yes.
pretty.
so today's
lovely.
card.
and little ornaments.
I
Right,
know.
we'll have to get
she's
little
gonna decorate
ornaments
it.
for
Yes.
Christmas.
She'll decorate.
I choose gratitude in my thoughts, prayers, and action. That is your card today. And I just want to point out those in the room, because we didn't have them last week. We do have last week's cards. I feel gratitude for this year's journey. So I just want everybody to be on the same page. And speaking of pages,
And I think when I look at this, the main word for me is I choose.
I choose.
Choose. It's a choice every day. We can choose how we want to show up. We'll get to that in a moment. I know
Yes.
you're going to read this first.
Yes, it's on affiliated New Thought Networks, New Thoughts for Today.
Get this book. It's so good. They sell it on Amazon.
Yes.
So good.
We are on page 77, called Guess What? Gratitude. Prayer is sitting in the silence until it silences us. Choosing gratitude until we are grateful. Praising God until we are ourselves are an act of praise. Mature prayer always breaks into gratitude. Richard Rohr. Gratitude is a substance of our thoughts and actions that is helpful to use in generous doses all day long. Divine love, source of all that is, deserves generous gratitude. Being grateful for what we have is a spiritual discipline. Gratitude can take many forms. It is a lifesaver to both the giver and the receiver. Times of loss may bring up much gratitude for everything we have to do. Losing someone we love can still bring us the gratefulness for having had the person in our lives. A great example of healing gratitude, Myrtle Fillmore, one of the founders of Unity, was given a diagnosis of tuberculosis, her family's disease. She decided to bless every cell and organ in her body with loving thanks. Through her thoughts, words, and the actions of healing gratitude, she healed herself. Are you grateful to the people who serve you? What about that cashier who never seems happy? Do we assume they are unkind? Or do we kindly consider that we do not know the circumstances or what could be troubling them? Looking at it that way, we can bless them and be grateful for their service with no judgment attached. Divine presence is the source of all, giving to me and through me. I am blessed with gratitude, and I extend my gratitude to others. I choose gratitude in my thoughts, prayers, and actions. Reverend Deni Miller Ralston, Interfaith and Religious Science Minister from the Villages of Florida.
And thank you, Reverend Deni, for this thinking.
Yes.
I like thinking this way. I like especially I talk about this a lot with different people about, when someone mistreats you or someone's rude or, says something that's off-putting. And then the knee-jerk reaction for some people can be an immediate, attack right back. I'm going to jump right back, And lately I've been having conversations around this ability to say, or they can maybe we don't know what's going on for that person. Right. What they're doing has nothing to do with me or you. It's to do with them. And if we can stay in that place of knowing that doesn't, we won't have those same reactions. If we do have a reaction, that's an awareness for us. I love that quote, that your reaction is an awareness for you. So why did it upset you all of a sudden? What is that? Because that's work that's giving you, that's like
right.
You can be grateful that they triggered you because you've got some work happening here. But what they're doing has nothing to do with you. That's something happening for them, and it's just coming out, So that's actually been a big topic of discussion for me over this past couple of weeks with someone very close to me that I've been trying to help them to see this other vantage point,
Right, of when people are just being who they are.
They're not attacking you, even though it feels like they're attacking you.
It feels personal.
Yes.
But we know that the person at the grocery store or the Circle K or whatever that has the nasty attitude doesn't even know us.
Right.
So it's not about us.
But even if it is somebody that knows you, which in a couple of situations it has been, and it's been so upsetting, it's and that person still is coming from, you can choose to think that way if you want to, but choosing to think that way doesn't feel good. First of all, you're not going to move through that, right? But if you could choose to, even for a moment, consider this other person's having, obviously, to me, issues. You can see, because if they weren't having any problems, they wouldn't be acting like that in the first place. Right. So it's just to stay heightened aware. And I'm not perfect at it, but I think that's one of my skill sets that I've developed for a very long time.
And that is one of the things with positive intelligence that we talk about is looking at a situation or a scenario or a person with empathy.
Yes.
And seeing it that way so that we can move past that. And, and I love this with the gratitude and blessing, especially, going the paragraph up about healing gratitude and Myrtle Fillmore's experience there, because that's how unity all came about there, right? Is knowing that divine presence and healing presence. And this became, the construct of the healing there. And I'm going to say, man, I want to have that faith. I'm just going to be here, we're all authentic and out there. And I am going for a knee replacement on the 21st. And
yes, because you all mark that in your calendars, please, for Rev Jeannie.
Yes.
That she gets a lot of prayer and love and support as you go through that. I know we'll all be holding you in that space.
Yeah, it's, and I would love for not to have a knee replacement, right?
Yes,
that would be great.
That would be lovely.
So, and there is something that I aspire to, because what I loved in this reading here was where, when given the diagnosis of tuberculosis, her family's disease. And I remember someone else pointing that out, is how we talk about things that are wrong with us, right? We talk about my high blood pressure or my heart disease or my, my bad knee, my poor hip.
It's like we're claiming it.
Right. We're claiming those things.
Oh my goodness.
And, so that that is a choice of wording that I've been working on that for full health and healing and flexibility and movement. I'm claiming those things. I'm not perfect at not saying the my around the issues with my body parts, but I'm getting better at claiming the healing part of it. So, there's a process here. It's hard sometimes, especially in the world of the over 50s. I'm just, we have a tendency to identify ourselves by our illnesses.
Which we swore we'd never do.
Right, because we heard the people in their 50s and 60s when we were in our 20s and 30s and said, oh, we'll never be them. And honestly, that's how we identify ourselves. Hi, I have bad knees. Anybody else? So yeah, right. We they're like, oh, you're in my group. Yeah. So that's how we identify ourselves. So yeah, so we're all working on that. We're, in progress, not perfection.
We're always working on it, right? It's always practice, different practices of awareness, and gratitude is a huge practice.
Absolutely.
Huge practice
So no
all
matter
the time.
what it is that you're going through, gratitude is a game changer.
Right. It keeps you present. I mean, it really keeps you present. It keeps you in that, in the right vibration, right? And I was watching something the other day that was talking about how whether you're trying to vibrate or not, like whether you're trying to have that, what's what I'm looking for, our energy level, I can't think of the word, but anyway, you already are. Our bodies are already sending out a signal no matter what. Like whether you're trying to make it positive or it's negative or whatever,
Right.
you are constantly,
it-
it's coming out of you all the time, right? And the things that align with that, I can't remember who said this, but I like how I said, are racing to you. Like they are
like it's magnetic.
coming at you. They're doing everything it can to get to you because it's just so attracted to it. And then everything that is not like that is running from you, is doing everything to get away from you. So, and those could be,
I have cats like that.
there you go. Yes, we could just name your cat. But what's interesting is I didn't say that the things that were running from you were necessarily the bad or things, or that they were good things. They could be things you want. They could be things you want, but you're not in a space that's attracting it. So it's running from you. If you think that way, it's running from me. And then things that are coming at me, that are running to me, that matches that. I didn't say they were good or bad things. They're just the things that are aligning. So gratitude is one of the major tools at keeping yourself in a place of what's coming to you is what you want, and what's running from you is what you want to go bye-bye.
Right.
So it's a daily practice though. It's something to do every day. We have I know at CLF they used to do the 40 days before Thanksgiving, the gratitude journals, but and then people would do that for the 4 days, and then that was it. We don't do them again, right?
We're done. Yeah.
But it's a practice.
One and done.
Right. All these practices we talk about up here are meant to be assimilated into how life is done, so that you're doing it on the regular, taking the notes, doing it on the regular. And this is top of mind because Miss Ann was at my house yesterday organizing and helping with the end of the year journal that we talked about that will be live this end of this month. You can pre-order it if you can not pre-order it yet, but you will be able to purchase that for friends for gifts with the cards. But she was organizing all that for me, and I forgot that last January we had all these bonus cards, and one of them was about gratitude. Was the 5 a hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's the keeping of gratitude. So when you're having a moment that is not great, if you did your 5 things you're grateful for, it will pull you out of that. It will pull you back. And I'm not saying I'm grateful that, no, serious grateful things. So for me, sometimes I'm gritting my teeth as I'm saying, that we're grateful for this and we're grateful for that. But by the third one, I'm like, yes, exactly. By the third one, I'm getting softer. And by the 5th one, I'm back.
Right.
So your hand is with you all the time, hopefully. So if you can remember, yes, it's there. if it kind of helped to remind you just 5 things, just 5 things, 5 things. Pull yourself back, stay present in gratitude, and attract what it is that you actually want.
Absolutely.
And repel everything else. Let it run away from you.
You know, I love that when you're talking about, you know, being in gratitude and what that attracts, how we attract things. And I was thinking about yesterday, in officiating this wedding, you know, one of the things is that I was going to have to stand for a period of time. And so the gratitude that I had, thank you, the gratitude that I had yesterday in being the honor of being asked for one to do this and being a part of this beautiful day and experience, the gratitude is that I had was my body was cooperating with me, you know, and I have other ways of making sure that I'm well, you know, I have compression everythings and you know, so like I was set up, like I was good to go, and you know, I did all the things that I know to do. And not only was I able to stay standing during the service, but I actually danced too. And you know, and had a great time. And we were there for like 6 hours. So, you know, my body participated well. And I was so grateful for that because, you know, I wanted to, and I wanted to be a part of. And I remember a friend asking me about the cruise, and I was walking 10,000 to 15,000 steps every day, in pain or not, you know, because I didn't want to miss out on the experience of being with my family.
You did the labyrinth.
Yeah.
That was a long time.
Oh, that
45 minutes or
That was
something.
a long labyrinth.
I was worried when it was going and still going and still going, and she's in front of me. I'm thinking to myself, oh my goodness,
Is she gonna make it?
we're not even in the center yet, and I really think it's been like 30 minutes. Like
We did sit for a while in the center.
And then once we got to the center, I was like, thank God.
This is like,
But I was worried about that, but she was a stronger mind.
yes.
Her mind
Yes.
she was in charge, and she made it happen.
And that really is the thing when it, you know, I don't deny that things happen. Staying in gratitude, staying in the present moment, and staying in faith that it's just one more step. Most of the things I do are just one more step.
Were you saying to yourself, I have not asked you this, but like now that you're saying that, I wonder about this with people sometimes who do persevere or push themselves through something. When you're walking, were you saying to yourself, oh my gosh, please help me get through one more? Or were you saying to yourself, I love this. This is so beautiful. Oh my gosh, what a great experience.
I'm in the experience. I'm in the experience. I honestly don't even feel the pain until much later. And all my people in the room that experience that know what I'm talking. Yeah.
But I think had you been in the first thinking,
I wouldn't have gotten
you
very
couldn't
far.
have done it.
No.
But because you stayed present and you were in what the experience was,
The experience.
it's like the person who said, I think this is Mary Mannon Morrissey's story, which was very sick and she almost died.
Yeah.
And the person said to her, and she was in pain, like so much pain. And the person said to her, is there anywhere on your body that doesn't hurt? And it was like her pinky toe or something ridiculous,
yeah.
something like, that's it.
I do
He
remember
goes,
that. Yeah.
Focus there.
Yeah.
Focus there. And it was like, oh my goodness. And I've used that in my life. When I've had pain somewhere else, I focus, where am I not hurting? And I focus there. And it's incredible. So I feel like had you at any moment given into like, oh my gosh, the worry, like I was worried. I was like, oh, okay, she's still going. Here we go. You know, I was like a little stressed.
But I was so in that experience.
It was beautiful.
Labyrinth. I mean,
you wanted to do
be
it. I
there.
know.
And it was like, now Michelle went and did it a second time. I did not. Just want to say I did not do it a second time, but I did do it.
I walked for somebody else the second. I walked for myself and my things, and I walked for somebody else the second time. So I needed to do that. But yeah, it was still as long. That's a big labyrinth.
It's a very large labyrinth at Unity Village.
And you're in it. And once you're in it, like I was like, oh my goodness, we're still not at the center. I'm a little bit. I was like, wow, this is like a very long, and it's like, because you keep.
You just,
going,
you keep
and you
going.
think, well, there's some time. Nope, I'm going back around this way. It's such a.
That's it. And I think it is one of the largest in the United States, if I remember correctly.
What, at least 30 to 45 minutes to get to the center or something?
Yeah,
Took forever, but it was lovely. But I remember thinking to myself, okay, oh my God. Like literally in the middle.
Yeah.
Sorry, getting nervous.
But and so like with that, think about, so I have thought that way in life in general, right? Our dear Amy, I'm going to share this part. Amy's like, I don't know what she's going to share, but I'll let her. Right? Yeah, I trust you. So Amy has some feralish cats, right? I say that because they're not really indoor cats, but she takes care of them. And she's been worried the last month because the mama cat has been missing, and we've done prayer. And generally when Amy contacts me and says, one of the cats are missing, we do prayer, and within hours the cat is back. But this one was captured by another human and inside. And so this has been a prayer for a month now that, and Amy's little heart was hurting. She was missing her cat. And so yesterday she got mama cat back. And now mama cat has a collar and another home, and but one of the things about that I thought on the way in this morning was about how we go into prayer, or we go into a circumstance, and we have an expectation because it's always been like this, right? Like with us, with the cats, we've prayed, the cat comes home. It's always been like this. And now there's a time delay. And what happens when we have a time delay in our manifestations? Are we still grateful?
I don't like it.
Right? I mean, neither do I. Yeah, I don't know anybody who does. Oh, thanks.
I want it.
Thanks, universe. I knew I needed to wait on this one. Like that's never happened to me, not once. Yeah, so it's there. There's the faith. And so I was telling Michelle about my experience zip lining on the ship. Okay, so we go, and I don't have a fear of heights. I have a fear of falling. Okay, height doesn't bother me. Falling to my death does. And so I know I've skydived. I'm at the Grand Canyon, all these things, and no problem. And so we're gonna go zip line, and it's me and my grandson and my daughter. My daughter decides to stay and videotape us. So there is videotape of this. So I go up, and I'm behind my grandson, and he's getting ready to go, and he's 11, and he has his phone in his pocket. So he's got to get out of line, put his phone down. So now it's me. And I get up there, and first there's steps. People, there's steps. And so I've got to go up these steps, and I've got to hold, and I go up steps sideways. And so I get there, and then there's this like yellow bar, and you put your feet against it, and this gate opens, and you jump. And I couldn't.
On the boat?
Yeah, and I couldn't. And so so you're zip lining over this deck that's called Central Park, and Michelle says, so what, if you fell, you'd fall on people? I don't know, there's this glass building you'd fall through. Right? That's what you're going over.
Yeah. Terrible.
So but you have to make the move. It doesn't happen automatic, and you're holding on, and your feet are pressed against this yellow, and the only way you're going is to move your feet. And the same thing happened to me when I jumped out of the plane. My right foot went, and my left foot was like, I'm not doing it. And I had to pick my left leg up and put it on there. And the guy I was, it's tandem jump, and his name was Dave, and Dave went, and I didn't do anything. And Dave did it again, and I didn't do anything. And then Dave pushed us out. So there was a nice young woman there, and she's telling me how safe it is because we didn't even make you sign a waiver. So that made me feel
not comfortable. And I said, no, and I got down. And then my mom and my nephew were watching, and my daughter's videotaping live on Facebook, and then my nephew says my great niece Winter had done it, and she's 10, and I'm like, okay. So I got back in line, and this time my grandson went and did it, and then I got up, and this time when I went, there was this gentleman there, this like 25-year-old Australian man standing
That would
there.
work. That works.
And he's like, are you nervous? And I said, a little bit. And he goes, that's okay, I gotcha. And I'm like, okay. Like, it wasn't like, look, we didn't make you sign a waiver like that first girl was. But I don't know what was happening with her, and I'm very grateful. But, he was very empathetic and compassionate and was like, it's okay. And I was able to jump. And it was great once I jumped, and I was telling Michelle that that's me in my life. It's so hard for me to make that jump. I'm always grateful that I did, but man, that jump, I'm like, no, can't do it. So here's where gratitude does come in, right? And where it said it's a gift to the giver and the receiver. The difference there between those two people was he was being heartfelt and generous, with compassion and empathy for this scared old lady that wasn't jumping, and the other girl was like, look, I'm on a clock here, move it. And what the difference of that and how I felt going forward, I felt brave and safe,
And
and
validated your feelings and she dismissed them.
right,
Oh,
exactly.
Anne says that he validated her feelings, and then the first lady dismissed them. That's a very
Yes.
good point.
Yeah, she was like, oh, it's not dangerous. Like, you don't know what's happening in my head. Yes, it is.
It is dangerous.
It's very dangerous, And so there's, having that ability to be grateful for everything that's happening does allow us to be safe. That helps us to be safe when we look for the gratitude in a situation, when we look for the peace and calm in something, right? When you were saying about what we attract. So the first time, I was attracting very nervous energy and I was getting it back.
Yes.
And then the second time, I was a little bit more at peace because the 10-year-old did survive it. So, and people had been doing it for 3 days at this point and nobody crashed and died. So, I kind of knew it was okay, but tell your brain that when it's telling you jump to uncertainty.
Yes. No, yeah.
Yeah, it's not I think that's part of our makeup as humans, right?
Our protective self.
Yeah.
I know.
And we do that. We'll lock into that mode and keep ourselves from doing the things that we should be doing, right? But if we can push through that, then we're grateful. Thank you that worked out. Thank you that I took that step. Thank you so much that person helped me to move forward, because look where I'm at now, and I so much would rather be here. So yeah, sometimes we gotta get over that little bump in the road or that step to wherever.
Right, and it's another tool, right? Choosing to be grateful in my thoughts, prayers, and actions. Yeah. So another tool, gratitude, comes in and helps us move forward. Yeah, and I think that's a big thing, and of course we do that this month because of Thanksgiving, which has now become synonymous with gratitude and being thankful for family and friends and just the whole year. It becomes this, what it had started out about, I don't think is what it is now,
Right.
For now, I think it really is about how blessed we are in a scenario. And then people reach out during this time of year too, right? And they say, hey, how can I be of service? How can I give more to others?
Yeah.
And I really
appreciate that. And so for me, my gratitude today, and I guess I won't go too much into it since we have next week, but my gratitude is for Sofa Sundays and this year that we've had and what a year it's been. And I guess Anne can tell us all about our years. She just watched it all.
It was amazing.
It was an amazing year.
I'm so grateful.
She had to go look through all the past recordings and glean information for the journal that
And
we're
get
creating.
us together there, and it
It's
is
like I'm reliving all the moments of the
which I love. I mean,
know.
I love that we have this, and in our community, this is special. This is definitely not something that I had foreseen happening. A good portion of us had attended church regularly and stuff, and I'm telling you, there were time periods where I was spending 4 or 5 hours at church on a Sunday, and I was like worn out. It was a lot, It became like a second job.
Yeah.
a chore. It was
Yeah.
a chore. There wasn't the
Yeah.
love in it, the desire in it any
Right.
longer. Right.
Yeah, and that I stopped having gratitude about it did become the chore,
Yeah.
and I don't have that, and thank God, that
Even
is
after a
something-
year.
even after a year,
A whole
a
year.
whole year. It's and
Incredible.
I don't ever want anybody to have that, That is something for me. I am so grateful for those in the room and those online. And
too.
if it ever feels like you're not being fed, please go somewhere and be fed. I would never, never want that for anybody to experience that, because this is our lives. And a lot of us are in that second half, that part of life where we say, wow, I've done all that. I've done all that now. And now this is the time period for me to shine and be and not have to prove anything anymore. So I would definitely not want your spiritual place of nourishment to feel bad.
I agree with that, and you may be getting fed in more than one place.
Oh, sure.
So
yeah.
we may be a piece
We
of
do
where you're
too.
fed. We may be all of it, which is great, but we may
Yeah.
also be a portion of it where you go
And that's
somewhere
why
else.
we do
There's no-
11:11.
That's why we do 11:11, because we think that some people might go to a service somewhere else in the morning at 9 and then have time to get to us. So yeah, we just want to be a part of it. We want to help you create a life you love, and we're doing that with what we do. So that's really what it's about for
Right.
us. We're not like you're ours and you could be like none of that going on. Although I might be like, no, I'm just kidding.
Right.
But yeah, and
We might put a collar on you.
might put a
but-
collar.
And your friends is like, I wonder what happened to.
Where is she? But when I think about, you were saying like we are blessed to be in where we are, and that we have each other, and that we have opportunities to do things like this. We are so blessed for that. And I was just talking to my oldest son yesterday, that awesome 31-year-old. We had a conversation yesterday, and we were talking about that. I don't know. I think it was Angelina Jolie who I just saw say a speech about she doesn't know why, or it's upsetting to her why she has been given this life path. And she kind of named it off, like, right, she was born this way in here, she had this, and this is what she gets to do every day, all this kind of stuff. And there's a woman on the other side of the world, just the same as her, has the same dreams, has the same hopes, has the same wants, has the same talent, maybe more talented, she said. She could be better at some of these things than I am. And she has no opportunity. That's not in her immediate, experience. She says, I will never understand that. And I told my son, I said, and with that thinking, because the little thing I saw stopped there, but with that thinking in my mind, whenever I go there and I start to feel upset about what others don't have, I try to, because I can make myself pretty sick about that, pretty upset about that. I'll shift and say to myself, no, you need to honor what you've been given to create more of that. Create more of that for others, not be in a pity party over here because that's creating the wrong thing. That's what I don't want that to be happening, right? I want more of this for myself and this for others. So that's what we do here on the sofa. We try to create a space where everyone hopefully is getting things from us, through us, that they use in their own space to create more of what they love. And that's what I think I'm super grateful for that we've been doing it for a year and that we still have stuff to do. We still have stuff to talk about and things coming up. And and it's been wonderful. Blessed to have you on the sofa.
I'm blessed to have you too.
So grateful. It's like a love fest over
It
here.
really is. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's been wonderful. So another year, we'll keep doing this as long as we want. I love it.
I guess. I mean, that's a good idea.
I told you were stuck in this song. You're probably stuck in it.
Good idea.
Yeah, but it is, and it's so take the time to look at your own space. We all have things we don't like. We all have things that we could point a negative finger to. Every human being, some worse, really, really worse than others. You could go all down that rabbit hole, or you could say, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for what is it today? My thoughts, my prayers, my actions. Use your prayers for good. Use your thoughts for good. Use your actions for good, and go create more and more of what we want to be seeing in this world. You know, we talked about this, I think, just last week or the week before. Like, go spread that love. Go be that love. Don't look at where it's not happening. Go just you have to have that awareness, but go and be the thing we need.
Right. I just read that recently too about choosing to be for something and against nothing. You know, and that is
That's work.
there's a different vibration
Totally.
in that than there is when we fight something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. We have
And
So
to stop doing that, because
Yeah.
that's creating, we feel like that's correct, but it's actually creating the wrong thing.
right, we need that vibration to be for.
Yeah, even the cancer stuff. Every time I say we're fighting cancer, stop fighting cancer. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
survive cancer. We're
Yeah.
not beating it. We're not like all those words like, oh my gosh, please stop attaching those words to it.
Right.
You know,
Yeah,
please
the fighting
switch
part.
it around.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I understand the thought around it,
Mhm.
but I don't want to fight anything. You know, so that's that's the awareness. And I think that awareness is happening. I think people are shifting that. So, but it's ours to do. It's our work. It's the practice every day. Every day.
Every day.
Any comments from the gallery? Anyone? And
What are we grateful for today?
lots of things.
I'm grateful for the weather. It's
The
Weather.
weather.
I know, sorry, we're in Arizona and now we have our good weather.
Yes, and now this is the reason we all live here.
That's why people
We're
live
here now.
This is our bait and switch weather. This is
Yes.
when people come in like, oh my gosh, I love this place. I think I should live here.
Right.
And then they move here and like, usually
July.
it's end of school year, so
Yeah.
they're moving in June. Like, what? I was like, yeah, you were here when?
I
In
know
November?
July
Yeah.
21st, 18
Suck
years
us.
ago. What? Don't move to
know.
Arizona in July. Just some, yeah.
Yeah, don't do that. Yeah. But I'm grateful for this community. I'm grateful that you guys come every week, mostly, and for the help and the volunteering and the support. Oh my gosh, that has
We
been
have the
huge
world's
gratitude.
greatest partners.
We do have the
Yeah.
best partners, and then just just holding us while we're doing this thing. That has meant more than I think you guys probably even understand. Probably more than what you could comprehend, because we're just up here doing our thing, and it's and then to have the proof of concept come back was like, wow, oh my
Yeah.
gosh, okay,
It's like, all right,
okay,
good.
we're doing it.
Because we were having to jump.
We
No.
did have to jump. Oh my gosh, that was a big jump. That was scary.
It was a scary jump.
I don't
for
think I could have
us.
done it by myself at that point. I mean, I know I wasn't doing it by myself. I was thinking it. I think Ann knows I was thinking things like that, but I wasn't doing it. I was stalling out. You know what I mean? Year goes by, having thought of that. Oh yeah, I forgot. I wanted to do that. Yeah, or whatever.
Yeah.
But together, that's why we're not on this planet by ourselves.
Right?
Together, it's okay. You might have things you do on your own, and that's fine. But if you have something that you want to do, and it's not happening because you're stalling out or you're procrastinating, or maybe you need to join forces with somebody else and you both push each other over. You both jump together because
But get the Australian guy.
can we have the Australian guy though?
Yeah.
The Australian guy.
Don't have that mean little
Yeah,
girl.
no mean woman.
Yeah.
We want the Australian. But I think once we locked in together, then it was like when we would feel scared or we would feel concerned or whatever the feeling was. It was like, yeah, okay. And then we would keep going. It was like we didn't even like, we would acknowledge it like, oh my gosh, everybody's, how many people are coming next?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay. And then we would just keep moving. We never were like, I don't want to do this. I don't think we should do this. Like that never was even a thought. We just kept going. It's a whole different place to be. It didn't stall out. So find your person. Maybe there's a person that you're supposed to align with or something. If you have a goal or a dream, let's get 2024 creating those things that you have been putting off that you know is yours. Maybe you need to find who is that person that's going to sync up like that. I mean,
Yeah.
so that's, I didn't
And a
think
good
about
way
that.
to find
till now.
that is going to unleashyourlife.us.
Doing the year.
And doing the year.
That's true.
Yeah.
Who wants to commit to 2024 being an amazing year? Who would commit to that? Yeah.
Look at that. Everyone in their Trey
Davis, do you commit to 2024 being an amazing year?
He's
Yeah.
like,
Oh my
okay.
gosh, I'm a teenager. Please stop doing that. No.
Does Trey graduate in 2024?
No, he graduates in 25.
25.
He's a junior right now, so one more year. But I will say, I'll brag on him. He's been playing lacrosse, kind of dipped his toe into it. He's never played before, and he was enjoying that. And then the coach, he's got a lot of natural gifts that are naturally his gifts, and you can kind of put him in any sport, and he just kind of does it. And you're like, that's so weird because he's never played that. Just his thinking. I think he's got this certain way. So it showed up in lacrosse, and they're going to put him in varsity already. So he's like, wow, thanks, coach. And that happened in football too. Like he had a couple games where he was like, and they saw he has a really strange speed. To me, it's like, I can see him shift gears and he blows everybody away. Like everybody's gone and he's over here. And you're like, I'm like, you all saw that, right? Like that's not just his mom, right? Like did you see that? You know? And then when people sit there, they're like, what? Oh yeah.
I see it when it's time to go.
Yeah, when he
He
wants to
acts
go.
like that.
He looked up. No, but I'm excited for him. I'm grateful for that because I know with the injury, it was hard to get to play. He didn't play football this year because it still hurt. But lacrosse doesn't seem to be hurting where the injury was, so he's able to do that. And I know he wants to play sports, so I'm grateful for his awareness. He was trying basketball a little bit, but I'm grateful for his awareness that this might be something and going for it and just taking the jump and trying it. He had friends on it too, so that helps when you're friends. And it might be something for him. So I'm grateful for that for you, Trey Davis.
Yes.
So anyway,
we're always grateful for Trey Davis.
we are grateful for Trey
He
Davis.
gets us coffee.
I
He
know.
gets
So
us set
you all
up.
remember when he was little at church? Those of you that were there when he was a little guy and he would get up to so those of you who don't remember Creative Living Fellowship or never went, I used to be the director of the youth ministry there. Actually, this was before I was the director, I think. I think he just was in the little youth ministry, and the children would come up at the end of service, and he would come up, and he'd get up there, and then he'd be up on the stage, and every time he wanted to say something on the microphone, he wanted to say something, and so Reverend Dr. Michelle, she would be like, oh, Trey, you want to, oh, okay. And I don't know why she would give this child a microphone, but she always did. He'd go, cars.
And then you wouldn't let go.
And then he'd just be like, yeah. And she's like, okay, but he'd say like he was like so serious about it. And she'd be like, okay, he's got something big to say. And he'd be like, cars, or something. And then I would say like, I don't know. So after that, a few times, you'd get the Team Trey, people yelling from the audience, Team Trey. And she'd be like, I don't want this kid to speak again. He doesn't say anything. But they were yelling for him. He was famous. He was a famous guy. So now he's embarrassed. Now he's like,
It's like now I can't get him on the sofa.
I
so,
know. Yeah, I know. Oh, when were you gonna do that? You're
I
supposed
was
to.
going to do that this week and forgot about till
I
just now.
forgot.
Yeah.
All right. You'll do
Yeah.
we'll do maybe the last one. Okay, perfect. All right, we
Yeah.
got it all solved.
All right.
It's been solved. All right, I think that's it for us today. Unless there are any comments, I know Anne, you stepped out when we asked that, so I don't know if you had anything. Good. Everybody feeling good?
Okay.
Oh, I love it. I'm so grateful. All right, here we go.
So, in this space of gratitude, of joy, of peace, of knowing that there is one heartbeat, one breath, one divine energy, one life. And that life is perfect. That life is my life, and that life is God's life now. And I am so grateful for this time together, for this opportunity to share this now moment with the divine beings of Sofa Sundays. I am grateful for the manifestation of this thought, this dream, this opportunity to be here on the sofa, to be here in the airwaves, to be part of life, expressing as the best life ever for each individual that chooses. I'm grateful for gratitude manifested in my thoughts, my words, my prayers, and my actions, and for each person here as they choose. I am grateful for the leaders and teachers of faiths everywhere, and I am grateful for the peace in our world. I hold this peace, knowing that I am for peace and against nothing. I say thank you, God. Thank you, universe. Thank you, life, for this beauty, this love, this peace and joy, and for this experience known as Sofa Sundays. I let this go, I call it good, and together we say, and so it is.
Well, thank you everyone for being here. Remember, next week is our big year celebration, so we're having the lunch afterwards here on site.
Here.
Yes, be provided. So you just show up, bring your friends, bring anyone you wanted to introduce Sofa Sundays to. And if you've been watching live and you're in the local Phoenix area, just come this one time. Let's see our community in person.
Yeah.
That would be a great year anniversary gift to us.
Yes.
To be able to hug
Yes.
you and thank you for your support. So I think that's it. If you want to support us even further, though, you can share this. If you find that we're giving value, that you're receiving things for you, please share it. Share it to your feed, comment on it, put a little GIF on there, put a little heart on there, all that stuff. That'd be great.
And if you'd like to support us financially, please go to beginwithinministries.com. And you can support us as a spiritual church club partner for $45 a month, $75 for couples, or you can give a one-time donation. And we appreciate all support. And you can also support us through your prayers, through your thoughts, send good vibes, whatever it is you do, we appreciate it.
We love that. Oh, and spiritual church club partners, we have figured out a way. You will get a hard copy of the journal.
Yes,
so it
we
will
have
not be a
figured it
digital
out.
only copy. That our partners will all receive their own booklet of the journal that we're creating. So we're excited for you guys to have that.
All right.
And that's it for this episode of
Yes,
Sofa Sundays.
that's right. Thanks all. We love you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.